I've been a security guard for 6 years now. 6 years of walking silent hallways, checking cameras, patrolling empty floors, and watching monitors glow in the dark. Seniority has its perks. I choose my shifts, I get extra training, I know the building layouts better than anyone else. That's why, when my company took on a new contract for a government facility, they asked me to cover the weekend overnight shifts. The building is enormous, 6 stories, a fortress of steel and glass, surrounded by a 10-foot fence topped with barbed wire. One entry, one exit, and a parking lot that stretches like a gray slab under the moonlight. Beyond that, nothing but woods. No streetlights, no houses. Just trees. Endless trees. I should have said no. But I was moving apartments soon and could use the extra cash. So I accepted. For the first couple of weekends, nothing happened. Too quiet. Almost unnaturally so. The control room hummed like a heartbeat, my monitors glowing in the dark. I'd pass the time playing old games on my handheld console, occasionally sipping an energy drink, occasionally staring out the window at the empty parking lot below. Then came the third weekend. It was around 2 a.m., and a thunderstorm had rolled in, shaking the building. Rain hammered against the glass, wind tearing through the trees outside. I was in the control room on the top floor, the 3 massive monitors lighting the room like artificial stars. Normally, I kept the lights off and watched old movies on my phone to stay awake. Tonight, though, I felt uneasy. Lightning flashed, illuminating the far edge of the parking lot. And that's when I saw it, a shadow darting between the trees. Not human, or at least not something I could identify. 20 feet, maybe more, and gone before I could blink. My heart thudded in my chest. I tried to convince myself I was tired, that my eyes were playing tricks, but my gut said otherwise. I returned to my desk and downed an energy drink, hoping the caffeine would calm my nerves. Then, one of the camera feeds flickered, then went dead. The camera in the back parking lot was dangling from its post, swaying in the storm. I assumed the wind had knocked it loose, but then came the alert. A restricted access door in the back of the building. Green light. Someone was inside. No memo. No authorized worker. Nobody was supposed to be here. I grabbed the phone. Deadline. My mobile? No signal. My stomach dropped. Someone had entered without detection, and they were inside the building right now. I left the control room, flashlight in hand, moving cautiously down the corridor. The building hummed around me, settling like a living beast. Each step echoed loudly, bouncing off the walls. Then, black. The power went out. Emergency lights failed to flicker. Total darkness. I froze. My plan was simple. Reach the stairwell, descend to the lobby, and escape to my truck. But even that required moving through hallways where the shadows seemed alive, stretching and writhing with the storm's howl. Halfway down the stairwell, a door below opened. Heavy footsteps pounded up toward me, deliberate, slow, measured. The intruder was between me and the exit. My pulse spiked, every muscle tensed, training flashed through my mind. Hold position, assess threat. But instinct screamed, run. I retreated upward, aiming for the ladder to the roof hatch. Darkness became my ally. My hand slid along the railing, every nerve on fire. Then it happened. My gun struck the metal railing, clang. Footsteps accelerated. I threw a door open, slammed it shut behind me, and sprinted toward the ladder. Seconds later, the intruder rushed into the hall, fooled by my diversion. I climbed into the crawl space, heart hammering, counting each shallow breath. 10 feet below, the hallway was empty, for now. I leapt down from the ladder, landing with a thud, and bolted for the stairs. The chase began, floor after floor, echoing footfalls behind me. The building itself seemed alive. The storm outside slamming windows, wind howling through broken fixtures, lights flickering in the hallways. My boots pounded the steps as the intruder's heavy presence followed. Finally, at the ground floor, luck intervened. The intruder tripped, crashed down, letting out a guttural cry. I didn't stop. I burst through the main doors into the storm, running across the lot to my truck. Rain drenched my clothes, soaking my hair, but adrenaline carried me forward. I dove into my truck, tires screeching across the wet asphalt. In the rearview mirror, hooded, masked, charging through the rain-soaked lot. Engine roaring, I tore down the isolated road. Signal returned. Police. Backup was on the way. When they arrived, they swept the building. Nothing. No footprints. No intruder. But in the stairwell, they found it. A fully loaded, unregistered semi-automatic handgun. Seconds could have cost me my life. The intruder, gone. No explanation, no trace, no warning. Weeks later, every shadow unsettles me. I quit the overnight shifts, but I can't shake the feeling of being watched. Parking garages, empty office floors, dark hallways. I check over my shoulder. Every corner, every creaking floorboard, every flicker of a monitor reminds me of that night. I know now that the watchers in the shadows aren't ghosts. They're real. And sometimes they follow you, even when you think you're alone.